Okay, so we're going to flip over that page and we're going to look at the distributive property. Now, we've already started working with the distributive property with our Kahoots. The distributive property says A is being multiplied by two things inside brackets. Well, I've already taught you that you take that A and you multiply it by each term, giving you A times the first term and A times the second term. And we've done it with numbers, and it's been really easy. Here's an example of one that we've done a few times here. 2 times x minus 3. Now, the answer is real simple. The answer is 2x minus 6. Now, a lot of you forget about that negative. You got to be careful. You got to remember that that's positive 2 times negative 3. Now, I might have one or two of you out there still that this is hard. You're not really sure where this is coming from. And where it's coming from is this idea of 2 being 1x minus 3 plus another x minus 3. So there's 2 x minus 3s. That's not a very good x minus 3, which means that I'll have an x plus an x, which is a 2x, and a 3 times a negative 3 plus another negative 3, which is 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. So that's where it comes from. You certainly do not have to write this line. I would prefer if you went straight to here, but that's where it's coming from. Let's take a look at the next one. We have to be careful. I suggest you circle that number. That way you're going to get the negative in your circle, right? And then you draw your arrows. And if you want to get it right, do this. Negative 2 times x squared is negative 2x squared. Then go back. Negative 2 times negative 4. That's positive 8x. Then go back. Negative 2 times positive 5. That's negative 10. If you do start getting this wrong, chances are it's in your signs. And you forget to take that negative and apply it to these guys. That's where most people make a mistake in there. So if you circle it and always go back to it, you won't make that mistake. Now, here's a new one. You haven't done this one yet in this class. Instead of it being a 5, it's now a 5x. And it's going to be multiplied to a 2x and a 1. So, go back to the beginning. 5x times 2x. 5 times 2 is 10. X times x is x squared, because what that means is x times x. Plus 5x times 1. 5x. And you're done there. You can't do anything more. These are not like terms. X squared and x are not like terms. Just the same way as we were done here. We can't put x squareds with x's with numbers. Good. Area. Area of a rectangle is given by length times width. So they're going to give you questions like, calculate the area of this rectangle. So you're going to have to come along and go, okay, well, area equals length times width. We'll take this to be the length. We'll take this to be the width. And by the way, that doesn't matter. So 17 times 2x. It doesn't matter which one's the length and which one's the width. And you will get 34x in units, whatever the units are, squared. And that's just a nice thing to do so that you know that the units are always going to be squared. And we're talking about the area of the rectangle. Well, this one over here did like the area of the rectangle. Area is given by length times width, which gives us, we'll take x plus 5 to be my length. We'll take 2 to be my width. Now that's set up differently than the ones that we've seen. It certainly can be done. You go like that, you take the 2 and you multiply it by everything inside the brackets, and we end up with 2x plus 10. Or, if you prefer, you could have rewritten it because the order of multiplication does not matter. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that x plus 5 times 2 is the exact same as 2 times x plus 5. The order that we write them doesn't matter, in which case you can put it in the order that's more comfortable to you and get the exact same answer, and that'll be in units squared. So that's a little bit about area and using the distributive property. And again, area is that. It's all of that space that takes up. Number 7, square each term. What does it mean to square something? It means to multiply it by itself. So there's 2 of them. So if I take -5 and square it, what I'm doing is -5 times -5, and we're going to get an answer of positive 25. If I take 2x and square it, what I'm going to get is 2x times 2x, which is going to be 4x squared. And if I take -4x and square it, it's going to be -4x times -4x. -4 times -4 is positive 16. X times x is x squared. So I've just squared all of those terms. Number 8. Evaluate each expression. Let's come out a little bit. Okay. Evaluate each expression. So 7 squared subtract 25 squared. So according to BEDMAS, we need to do our brackets first. There are no brackets. Then we do exponents. There are definitely some exponents here. This is 7 squared minus 5 squared. So that's going to be 49 minus 25. That's going to be an answer of 24, and you're done. Over here, BEDMAS says to do brackets first. There's nothing to do inside the brackets. So then we do the exponents. So it's 8 squared, which is 8 times 8 is 64, I think. I'm looking out into my studio audience. 8 times 8, 64? Yep. Minus -2 squared is 4. Answer is going to be 60. And again, nothing to it. Last question is asking us to determine the area of the shaded region. We give these questions to you all the time. What you want is to figure out the area of the shaded is going to equal the area total. So the whole area minus the area unshaded. So the area shaded, this part, is going to be the total area, subtract the area not shaded. So the total area is 10 times 10, length times width. The unshaded is 4 times 4. Another way to write that, if you really wanted to, was 10 squared minus 4 squared, but I see no purpose in that. So it's 100 minus 16. So I guess it's going to be 84 centimeters squared. And that is the area shaded. I'm going to pause the video there, and we'll be right back.